Good morning, y'all. This morning we're going to be painting honeysuckle. So I picked some honeysuckle yesterday. It has started to dry and wither, but you can still tell that it's the honeysuckle flower and tea. Well, honeysuckle flower and plant. So I'm going to make some tea first. And the tea that we're drinking today is from my tea brand. It is Floral Tea for anemia, filled with hibiscus, blueberries, and roses. And if you've heard my story, then you know why I created this blend of tea. It is because my family has a genetic blood disorder. So this tea helps with blood circulation and it increases the iron levels. Also helps with the fatigueness that comes with being anemia. So this is about how much hibiscus and blueberries and roses that I put in there, if you can see it. Okay, I'm gonna let this tea steep. And then we're going to start painting and talking about abundance and the flower that we're painting today, which is the honeysuckle flower. Um, Most of us have a relationship with honeysuckle, especially if you're from the South. Then you should know about honeysuckle. I was in my mother's backyard yesterday and looking at all the honeysuckle that it was just covering the fence. It was like climbing up the side of the house. It was everywhere, and it made me think about abundance. It made me stop and think about how abundant the earth is. Sometimes we humans get caught up in the lack thereof, whether it's the lack of resources or the lack of money, um, the lack of things that we need. But a way to change that perspective is to start just going outside and looking at what's around. Um, if there's an abundance of flowers, if there's an abundance of trees, if there's an abundance of birds, of animals, whatever, then there's abundance of anything, including money. So this honeysuckle sort of reminded me of that and put me in a different headspace. I'm just going to paint the honeysuckle as it's like withering away. Now, back in the day, like when I was in grade school, we used to take honeysuckle off the leaves, take the nectar out, and then suck the honey out of the nectar. And for us, that was like a real good, I don't know, it was just a treat. It's like a childhood staple of nostalgia. Um, and like I said, if there was a playground, it was probably honeysuckle growing somewhere on the playground or in a backyard. And one of my childhood friends put a picture of honeysuckle on Facebook the other day, and everybody, the comments were just like going crazy with memories that we had from this plant. Now, it wasn't until I became older and started studying flowers that I realized that honeysuckle is actually medicinal. And I've never used it as medicine or as a tea, but I'm learning about it. So I'm going to list, and I'm just going to read from a book that I have, the medicinal benefits of honeysuckle and ways that you can use it. Okay, so honeysuckle is good for digestion. Um, it's also good for swelling. If you have like respiratory infections like a cold, you can use honeysuckle and make honeysuckle tea. Now, I've heard of people using it for the skin, like for people who might have hydrocolonitis that get boils, then you can use it for the skin like that. Or if you have eczema, it's great for eczema. So once I learn how to make honeysuckle tea, and maybe I'll come back on here and make the tea. But in the meantime, I'm just going to allow you all to watch me paint this honeysuckle flower and plant.